That is not the moon over Johnson City.
Nope.
That is our lights.
It's that light.
Oh, it's that light up there. It's a light, a whole light in the sky.
But it does look awfully beautiful. It looks like the moon.
If that was the moon, it would be lovely.
It would be gorgeous. It sometimes is like that out there.
Yeah. So I made a little bit of a change, and hopefully that's going to fix us up. If not, we'll make it work.
I'm just waiting for us to do a whole show and have forgotten to hit stream.
Yeah, don't even joke. It will happen. I've done this kind of recording for close to 30 years. I have done that on stuff that had major ramifications.
Oh no.
So, once you screw up on such a magnificent national scale, the little things are the ones that are really... That's where I wanted to go wrong.
Yeah. I'm just always so much in my head that anytime anything happens around me, I'm oblivious to it.
Sadly, I'm the same way. I'm just thinking about things, and people will yell at me or honk at me or wave at me. I may look right over them. It's not personal. I'm just somewhere else.
Yep.
And I've had people actually have to come up and grab me, and I was like...
I mean, to be honest, part of the reason I'm a writer for a living is because I'm a chronic daydreamer.
Right.
And the only way I can make money off of daydreaming is to write about it.
Right.
Or make films. But like you said before, films cost money.
Yeah, and people suck.
And people suck. Writing, I don't need anyone. All I need is a pen and paper.
That's awesome.
But yeah.
And you have novels to show for it. I wrote short stories. I got a drawer I can show you.
You should publish them in like a little
One
collection.
day, when I die, I'm going to be like the Philip K. Dick of the next generation. I'm going to be like, and he never saw publication while alive. But we have volumes that are magnificent. Right now, nobody seems to think that though.
It's it's so hard. It's so hard to.
I'm just too lazy to clean them up to get them ready to go out. I get them done to a certain point. I'm like, I like it. Not. It sucks. Oh God, this is terrible. To the drawer.
Oh yeah, no, I understand that. There's certainly. I will like something like a first draft. I'll love it. I'll be like, I'm a genius. This is brilliant. I'm great. And then like a day later, when I start rereading it, there'll certainly be like, I'm getting vodka because this is shit, and I'm a fraud.
Yeah, and every week that goes by, it gets a
worse.
percentage point worse until I can't even look at them anymore.
Then you work on it a little bit, and you're like, oh, I like that. And then you go back to it the next day, and you're like, I'm an idiot.
yeah, and especially some of the films that I did. That we did one short film that I was never happy with because for reasons I'm not going to get into, I'm not going to reopen any old disputes, but we didn't shoot the pivotal scene, the critical peak scene, the climax didn't get shot.
Yeah,
and so my partner thought it was fine to just let it. Well, come out in post. We don't need it. We needed it, and I was just never happy with it. But now it's been 10, 15 years later. I can watch it. I'm like, all right, we did some really fine stuff. Not to have computer 3D modeling and not to have all this stuff. We did the old-fashioned way, and it turned out pretty well.
Nice.
Yeah, self-critical artist syndrome. Exactly. It's
honestly, I mean, to be fair, I'd rather be a self-critical artist than one of those artists who never thinks what they do is bad.
Right.
That's a sign that you're not getting better.
I was about to say that self-critical is healthy.
Yeah, self-critical is healthy.
You just have to have that ability. And I learned this from my buddy Chad, Rev Jumley. He had taken a lot of art classes, had done a lot of art, and he saw that I was never finishing things. This is early on. We're in our 20s. And he goes, you have to just say, I can't work on it anymore. I have to walk away. You're never done. No. You just have to walk away at a point where you can live with it. And so my whole life now, I get to the point where I can live with it. That's all I can have time to do.
Yeah, that's what, I mean, with my first novel, honestly, it's available on Kindle. I wrote it when I was 19. It's a novel written by a 19-year-old. And the reason I self-published it on Kindle is because I was just sick of looking at it. And I'd gotten to the point where I was just like, I've worked on it too much to not release it. and I can't make it better anymore. Like, I would obsess about it. And yeah, you do just have to learn to let go. It's kind of like having children. You have to come to a point where you realize,
get out of my house. I can't afford you anymore.
Right.
Oh, wait.
And you're not going to be the person I necessarily wanted you to be. I still love you.
Right.
But you just
got to
kick them out.
You have a life of your own.
Yeah. You got to get rid of them.
Right. Yeah. I have friends, multiple friends, more than just one. I'm not just singling out anyone. I have friends that have literally worked on their novel for 23 to 30 years. Yeah. They would go back and rewrite entire chunks of it, or maybe start over again.
Yeah.
Because they keep, they take so long, they change who they are, and the story can't change with them.
I certainly understand that compulsion, and occasionally you'll see books from famous writers that are like, they spent 15 years on it, and it's magnificent. For the most part, though, yeah, there's only a certain amount of improvement you can do, and then
you're just second guessing.
Right, and if you continue working on it, there's a great chance that you are going to ruin it. And you have to, it's a hard line to walk. I don't know exactly where that line is, but
I've searched for that line my whole life in every media that I've ever worked in, and now it started with Secret Society, and my partner at the time couldn't stand it. But it became spontaneity is everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a scripted kind of guy. When I did films, it would be stick to the script, and if we have time, we'll do your improvs. We'll do whatever you want if we have time. But we have to get this. We have to get the script shot. That was me. But now with Secret Society, I purposely will get people that I only know through reputation, or I've seen part of a show, or I've not investigated a lot, because that danger, that spontaneity, that I don't know what's going to happen next, is essential to the life of this show that we do, because I wanted to have that, you may like this, you may hate it, here's the next guy.
Yeah.
And just that tightrope walk, and we've discovered such sublime, amazing things that nobody would give a chance to.
Right.
But the danger of trying, of course, we've had some stuff. Guy choking himself, screaming for his mother on stage.
Oh, good.
Didn't go over as well as I thought it would.
No, I wouldn't imagine.
Fickle audiences.
You got to find a specific audience for that.
That was not my audience. I learned that real fast.
But yeah, you do. There's a certain amount you have to. You have to be raw a little bit. You can't overproduction is terrible.
Right.
I mean, occasionally
from an album being produced,
to
having too much production, too many strings, and too much auto-tune,
that can ruin it just as much as not having enough.
To having a story that once had heart and passion and rang true, to becoming perfectly phrased English. That just kind of tells a story. It can suck the life out of it. You need that spontaneity, that ring of truth, that sound of, this is just the way things happen. Yeah. And if things are laid out too flat, what was it? I saw a movie recently. Everybody raved about, but to me, it's like, this is just way over thought out and laid out. It was a recent movie. That doesn't matter. But most movies today are perfect examples. Just pick one. Yeah. They're not written so much as crafted with demographic buttons. Yeah. You drag and drop. People love this and this and this. They want to see this and this. And so you can predict any movie just because they're giving you what you want. Right. Right. The movies that are dangerous, that are uncomfortable, don't give you what you want. I thought Stranger Things was a perfect example. Oh, I'm sorry, you didn't see that one. I saw it. I didn't mean to bring that up. But for me, it sets up one expectation and gives you whatever the hell it wants to give you. Right. You don't know what's coming up next. You don't know. Yeah. You don't know how this is going to fit, and then all of it just comes together, and it's like they had me the whole time. It wasn't just trying to please me. Right. It was making me work for it, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I love that. DJ Ray remembers. That's the guy that wrapped his I don't think I was there for that show. No, a few people were. Actually, nobody was there after that, I can tell you that. Filtered out. It was He was a very respected local artist, and I really truly enjoyed what he did. But yeah, the choking himself and screaming for his mother was too much for a lot of people.
I can imagine. That's very uncomfortable.
DJ Ray kept looking at me like, are you gonna stop this? Are you gonna stop?
What do you do?
He got real close. Like, what? This is awesome!
Oh, man. No, yeah, I just remember the guy in the bathtub, really. And
yeah.
Joseph Rash, is that his last
Yeah,
name?
Joseph.
Whistled? I remember that, the whistling.
He whistled once, and he was at another show where he read Spice Girl lyrics.
Oh, I wish I'd
He just
seen that.
sat on a stool
Oh, my God.
and read lyrics.
I love it.
I thought it was so wonderful. I had the best time with that one. And Jessica Lange, another of my favorites. Jessica, she came. I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm going to give it away.
But it's going to.
She was Ronnie Martinelli, an Italian lounge singer from New Jersey, and played a man all night, and stayed in character all night.
That's amazing.
And we worked it out in advance, and people believed that this was Ronnie Martinelli from Jersey, and bricked so hard on stage, purposely.
Oh.
Purposely. Didn't know the lyrics to standards.
Oh my God, yeah.
And when he did know the lyrics, he would totally mess them up.
Yeah.
It was brilliant. I thought it was Andy Kaufman was looking down very proud of that moment. Uncomfortable, unsafe comedy.
Oh my
and
God.
people hated it, and that just made me feel so much better. These are the things that make me happy, and it's not safe.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Who was it? Someone. This is not a political thing. I saw on Twitter someone said, "I'm just waiting for Trump to pull his mask off and find out it was Andy Kaufman the whole time." Oh man.
What else can we talk to you about in the chat room? I think we're just about out of stuff, and
yeah,
we've now put in a bonus hour. I don't know how this is going to come together. I'll probably just have to re-upload this whole thing and edit it.
Thanks for being patient.
Yeah, we really appreciate y'all sticking around.
Yeah.
We still got 5 people in the chat room?
Yeah.
Thank you all for hanging out.
Yeah.
But really, what else can we talk about? We want to hear from the chat room.
Shoot, I had a thought today. That's the problem. I need to write stuff down.
See, I do that all through the week. I'm like,
I
need to talk to Bailey
about
about this. No, save it till Thursday. And then
I know.
I don't remember it.
I know. So I did one of those DNA tests.
Go to bed. Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right.
Fine. I like how that's the first thing you post in the chat room. Go to bed. It's only 9:30.
Gosh.
Wait.
Okay, Ma.
Oh my God. Oh man.
But what else we have coming up in the next week in Johnson City? I'm drawing a total blank right now.
So this weekend is the races, which for everyone who's from here knows that means you need to get your canned goods, park your car, don't leave.
Stay home.
Stay home.
Do not come downtown,
Do
please.
not come downtown. Definitely do not go toward Bristol.
God, no.
Do not do that.
If it's early in the morning, you're probably going to be able to... have I ever failed on stage? Oh, okay. I got a good one for you here in a minute. If you're going towards Bristol early in the mornings, you're probably going to be all right.
Probably.
They've just got one big merge place up there. But if it's in the afternoon, they have a race tomorrow afternoon, and then the big one's Saturday, I think. Yeah, night race. You do not want to be... Unless you want a T-shirt. Yeah. Then hit it up.
In that case.
My buddy Reese is going to be there. He's announcing the stage out back. They used to have 2 stages. I did one, he did the other. He announced the other stage I didn't do downtown this weekend. Great guy. I just wanted to do a shout out for Reese. He's a good guy. But have I ever failed on stage? Yes. I have failed several times on stage. And the worst was the first time. And I left. It's on YouTube. Mm-hmm. You can watch the first time I ever announced Derby. It's on YouTube on the Little City Roller Girls channel. I'll leave it there as a reminder.
I'm already cringing.
It's cringe worthy. I didn't use my stage name. Oh, and I had a partner, Chris Joker, great guy. He owns Tri Liquor on the other end of town.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, if you ever want to go get some free samples, we can talk to Joker as a guest.
Yes.
Maybe we'll just drink some free samples. Joker's a good guy. He's hilarious. But I was still learning, and I didn't really know. You know, I'd seen Anthony Daniels, C-3PO, announce this big costume contest at Dragon Con. He was so charming. He always, if anybody tried to heckle him, he had something charming yet mean to say to him. But everybody just laughed it off because he was so charming.
Right.
And I was like, this guy is amazing. And this is the one moment that inspired me. I can do that. I can do this. I just need to be charming. I am not always a charming guy, especially back then because I didn't have a lot of experience. And so finally, here I am in a situation. It's not a costume contest, but it's like a little corporate kind of thing. And they had me there to introduce their board of directors and give away some in-house awards and stuff like that. And it ended up, there was a time that I had to kill time while some judges were trying to determine a little competition they had. I'm like, I saw Anthony Daniels do this. They're going to love it. He ran around the room at Dragon Con, a room of 10, 20,000 people, doing celebrities. And he would go, you look like, and he would say somebody looks like a celebrity and just make some funny stuff.
Yeah.
And people were always like, and he would run off. And I'm like, I've always wanted to do this. He did it so well. So I went around, and there was a guy that looked just like Raymond Burr. Just like Raymond Burr, Perry Mason. And I went, hey, it's Raymond Burr, Perry Mason. Dead silence. This was one of the jokes that everyone in the company had made behind his back, and no one had ever dared say it to his face.
No.
And so not only was there silence, there was
horror.
And so I was like, oh, I guess that was a laugh, and I moved on. And his friend, I said, looked like Ronald Reagan, staunch Democrat who actually was running for a local Democratic office. Everything I said was wrong, and they cut me off before I was done.
Oh my God!
They said, we will no longer be needing your services, and tap me out.
Oh no! See, if only you could have turned it into a roast. Had you known.
Now, I would know my audience better.
Right.
I would have, even if he looked like Perry Mason, I would pick someone who's a little more modern, and he may not get it. Or there's subtleties to this stuff, but I did not know then.
Right.
Over the years now, I've done that in other places, and it didn't fail so bad. So I kind of know better what I'm doing. But, it was mortifying. I was ready to quit. I was never going to do another corporate gig again. They still paid me. They wanted to pay me half, but I was like, nah, it don't work that way.
It's not my fault you cut me off.
Yeah. So I raised hell. Never worked with them again. Never got it. I have not done another corporate gig like that since that day.
As far as me, I don't know, failing on stage, I don't have as interesting of a story, but I have done a lot of stage shows.
Yeah.
And I think the one thing is one of the last vaudeville shows I did with Brandon, so I sometimes do lamplight singing. So I'll do old classics, Billie Holiday, things like that. And I was sort of ready, sort of prepared. I was prepared enough, but he moved my set up to people before I thought I was going to go on.
Oh.
So I was not prepared. It's one of those things that it shouldn't have mattered. I should have been 100% prepared. And I got up, and the first song, I think it is actually on YouTube too, unfortunately. I would not watch it, because I'd be horrified. But, everyone I talked to afterward, they were like, oh, no, it was good. I mean, your voice was a little shaky. And I'm sitting there like, oh, my God. Fuck. And I haven't actually sung since, just because I haven't had a chance.
Right.
But it was one of those things where you're like, God, those little things shouldn't bother you.
Right. But those are the ones that dig in.
Right. It's just taking you off guard, and you're like, oh, shit, I'm up now? What are you talking about?
There was another time, this was not my failure. I was not embarrassed in the least. but this is a terrible story, and therefore I tell it. I'm on a roller derby trip. I won't say where. I went with the local team. We were the guests, and when you're a guest announcer, really you just go and you just kind of have a conversation with the other announcer, talk about your team because you're the expert on your own team, and it's really low-key. It's really nice. You can go enjoy the trip. If you're at home, you got to organize all these paperwork and stats and stuff, and so I make it a little harder on myself. So I was at this place thinking, this is going to be great. We're here. I'm in a city that's known for its beer and for its entertainment, and I go in and... Well, they screwed up the time, and then they lied to the audience about the time it started.
No.
Do you do that? Yeah, well, you're going to be over here. You're going to run your own audio, which is something announcers, we just don't do because it's hard enough to talk. So I'm running the audio for the entire thing, it turns out. All these special things that are going on, I'm having to run the audio. And so I guess I'm it. I guess I'm the only guy. 1 minute before they start, a guy walks in a tuxedo. He's an older guy, much older than me, and he was like, "Who's this joker? Is he the sound guy?" And I was like, "No, I'm your co-announcer. I'm from the other team." I never had anybody show up. Try to keep up with me, will you, kid?
Oh my god!
And so he goes. He's like Mr. Vegas, and so he starts talking, and it turns out he doesn't know anything about roller derby. He doesn't know what the positions are. He doesn't know the rules. He doesn't know how to score. All he does is say when somebody's taking lead jammer position. I'm like, this is kind of lame. Well, anyhow, I'm sorry, I got to back up. The embarrassing part. So he shows up like that, and it went on like that, and it was just lame. But that's not the story. The story is he was looking like he was going to be late, so I started warming up the crowd.
Right.
My job to warm up the crowd is just to get people cheering and having a good time. And they said, the mayor's going to be here, so promote that the mayor's here. I was like, all right. I do this all the time, and the mayor's coming up. The mayor's going to have a good time with us. He's going to blow the first whistle, get us going. And I'm like, feeling I'm clicking, and then the mayor's not going to be here. And tell the audience this, which was not true again. I'm like, that's a lie. I'm not going to lie to the audience. You have to tell them this. We're trying to sell stuff. I'm not going to lie to your audience. And so I said, well, the mayor's not here. Doesn't know what he's missing. This is going to be some good roller derby, and I go on, and there's some other things that happen, not relevant. 2 weeks later, for some reason, I go to the website of this team that I was announcing for. On the front page in great big letters, they were apologizing for the guest announcer that came 2 weeks ago.
What the fuck?
And for the inappropriate statements they made about the mayor and the city.
No!
All I could think of was where I said the mayor doesn't know what he's missing.
Right.
And then I moved on.
Oh my god. That is awful.
Yeah, it was just a total clown show. I shouldn't say that. My friend the clown announces in Charlotte, and he's fantastic. He never has a bad show.
Oh, yeah.
No, this it was odd nights. God, I know this. The pain of singing and not being prepared.
Yeah. It's a nightmare.
I don't sing a lot. I actually love singing, and I can kill some karaoke, but it's just not something that came up. I thought about for my next secret society, I might croon a song that's relevant to the story, but
can Verbal croon a song?
As long as it sounds like ooh.
I think
verbal, not verbal.
This verbal.
I think we could probably work something out for verbal to sing a song.
Yeah, see, I grew up, my dad's a jazz musician.
Right.
So I grew up with the old classics, and I always loved to sing. So
That's
it seemed like a
fantastic.
natural progression. And so I know a lot of these songs by heart.
Love it.
It's just one of those things, that's like...
That's great. That's the stuff I listen to anyhow. You just have to sing louder when you're upstairs. And
We'll have a hometown East Tennessee karaoke
there we
night.
go. That'd be great.
Everyone
just everybody from the chat room.
Yeah, exactly.
And we'll just turn on a camera and see what happens. Yeah, we'll have to have a karaoke night. Paradise by the, he says Paradise by the Dashboard Lights. That's DJ Ray. He says that because do you have a vocal warm-up you do?
I talk a lot.
Yeah. Well, I found after a few years I have to warm up my voice or I blow it out. And I can't drink any alcohol before I go on, or it dries out my throat and kills me. But I have to do the vocal warm-ups. If I'm going to talk more than 3 hours, I have to do a warm-up. If I'm under 3 hours, I can talk nonstop. But I talk literally for 6, 8. I've talked 10 hours at a stretch. With one co-announcer to kind of throw it off to occasionally. But yeah, I've talked for long times. My warm-up is Paradise by the Dashboard Lights.
Oh.
And whenever I'm driving somewhere, just before I get there, I throw on a meatloaf, and I sing Paradise by the Dashboard Lights as loud as I can in the car.
Nice.
And it with the highs and lows in that song, it completely exercises all levels of my voice. And during the baseball scene, I just do a little roller derby vignette to really do some big hits. And it works like a charm. So DJ Ray taunting me with my song.
Meatloaf, the only thing I ever think about when I think about Meatloaf is he was on an episode of Ghost Hunters.
Really?
Weirdest combination. I think actually he was on 2 episodes because they enjoyed having him so much. They were like, come back.
Sure. Gotta be good for ratings.
Yeah, for real. It's so funny. Meatloaf. I
have 2 DVDs full of Ghost Hunters that you're welcome to.
Yes.
They were given to me by someone to borrow.
Yeah.
And then she wouldn't take them back. She's like, nope.
She's like,
nope, I don't even like that show anymore.
What?
Dang it.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, warm-ups really, and I can only talk from a speaking point of view. Doing a warm-up, day and night difference on how long my voice will last, and how my range can work. It makes all the difference. And I hurt myself if I don't.
I'll do the scales for a few seconds.
Yeah.
Not a few seconds. I'll do it for like a minute, and I'll try to sing. If I know when my set is, I'll try to sing the song I'm going to do before.
Oh yeah.
And just be walking around backstage in the green room singing my song. But yeah, it is crucial, and I should do it better. And I shouldn't drink alcohol before, but I have to have at least one beer to kind of.
If it doesn't affect it, doesn't affect your performance, who cares?
I don't think it does, but it's one of those things that I don't know because I'm not listening to me.
For me, I can totally tell.
Yeah.
If I drink that beer and I have to do, usually, especially in roller derby or monster truck racing or something big like that, you immediately get into heavy duty vocals. You don't get a chance to ease into anything.
Right.
And I go straight into the big stuff, and especially DJ Ray always gets my mic just right. But I go to other places where if the mics are wrong and you're fighting it, it's going to blow out my vocal cord. Yeah. It's going to create that little tickle right off the bat. It'll go away if I could stop talking.
Yeah.
But for the first half hour or so, it's just going to drive me crazy.
Well, so they asked, have you ever used a vocal spray?
Not me.
I've never used one.
No.
Have you? Is it good? Does it work?
When I have a cold, or I feel a cold coming on and I'm going to have to do a performance, I'll do the tea and honey. And that's about as close as I get. I've never really needed it.
Yeah, I mean, I try to stay hydrated. Like, I try to have a lot of water that day.
That's the key. I drink, if I'm going to do something like a 6-hour roller derby bout, I start drinking water the night before, and I drink all the water I can right up until performance. Yeah. And then I still constantly drink water. It makes a huge difference. Yeah, that tickle. It's terrible. I hate it. It's like something just stuck there going. It's like that little in the old movies and TV. They get a little hair down on the screen, and it would drive me crazy. Yeah, I'm old-timey.
Oh, I've heard good things, but not used one yet. Well, if you do, let us know. I don't sing enough to make it enough to make the investment. I don't know how much they are.
I understand that.
I sing live maybe once every 6 months. I'd do it more if I had chances,
right.
But going to sing karaoke at the cottage every Friday does not count.
Yeah, sometimes I'll warm up for karaoke too. You never know.
You never know.
I will put my Clarence Carter's Strokin' up against the best anybody can throw at me.
Oh my God. Nope. If I get a chance to do Dino, you will be destroyed.
I'm not against my Clarence Carter.
That's another show. Yeah,
that's a whole other thing. Not that I'm bragging, but I've gotten the ladies to come over and congratulate me on my Clarence Carter.
Oh, wow. So fancy.
Well, we've been going a long time.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is going to be the bonus or if this is going to be the full episode. We'll do the first part as bonus. I don't know. We'll see.
Who knows?
I know that I've got a lot of editing to do tonight, so this is probably not going to be available right after the show. I remember what we were talking about when the technical problems hit.
What?
I remember. Patreon.
Patreon.
Yeah.
We have a Patreon.
The Patreon is a program where viewers will pledge an amount of money, totally up to you.
I think the lowest is $3.
I think you're right.
A month?
I think the lowest is $3, and every time we can either do it. See, I haven't done this yet. We can either do it monthly or we can do it as we release an episode. I would like to do it as we release an episode because if somebody's paying monthly and we don't get out as many episodes,
That's true.
I feel like we might be doing a disservice to
That's
people.
true.
Because we get busy. Sometimes we're not going to be able to do this. So if we do it every episode. And it's just $1 or $2, $3 at minimum, whatever.
Yeah.
If every time we do an episode, that will automatically deduct that money from your account, send it to the show. Suddenly, we can afford better internet.
And podcast, being able to post our podcasts.
We're streaming on YouTube. Yeah, we may have had some trouble, but this is easy compared to getting an audio podcast out.
Yeah.
Because with audio podcasting, apparently everybody makes their money off of the bandwidth.
Right.
And so the SoundCloud that we use, uploaded to SoundCloud, and they give us 160 minutes a month. And that's 2 episodes.
Which is not many.
No, not for us.
That's half
of
our monthly episodes.
And so if we're weekly, we're eating that up. And then when I go over, it starts deducting episodes. So we had 3 episodes, and I uploaded last week's episode, and it hid the very first episode we did. And when I upload this as an audio podcast, it'll probably delete the next one in line. So we're only going to have 2 available at a time.
Right.
And I just don't want to... It's not...
The point
investing in
is,
SoundCloud is not as good as taking a little more money and investing it somewhere else to do it right.
Yeah, that's exactly the point. Is we want to start doing it even better. Each week we're going to get better. Each week we want to offer a better service to you guys.
We need a little... We could really use some equipment tweaks here because if we could get a good camera, I can do amazing things with good cameras. This is what I do.
There's all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
That we could do.
And there are places we can go.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The places we can show you, but and the people we can meet.
Yes.
But it would really help. But that's the Patreon, and it would just be an ongoing subscription thing. If that's too much, don't worry about it. Mm-hmm. Keep watching. We're going to keep doing this regardless, as long as people watch in the chat room, and even then, we'll probably keep doing it a while.
Yeah, and if people want to sponsor the show outside of Patreon, like businesses, we will.
Actually, we got to hit up Johnson City Brewing. They made us a great offer we can't refuse. They didn't offer us money, but they offered us beer every episode,
which is almost as good.
Well, no, I didn't have time to go down there this week. We'll go down and have a talk with Eric.
But you let us know. You let us know if you want to sponsor instead of Patreon. We will talk very kindly about your business.
Absolutely.
Unless your business is kicking dogs, and then we'll take your money and then talk shit about you.
We'll probably charge you more.
We will charge you more.
For what? Yeah, we'll definitely charge you more.
Verbal's not happy. Yeah. Yep.
And there's also there's a PayPal we put on Hometown where you can just do a one-time thing. So
yep.
We appreciate any help you can give us. We're not trying to get rich. Okay, we're totally trying to get rich, but we're not greedy. We're just trying to get it done right. I'm trying to get it done right.
We're poor artists. We're just...
I got to do it right.
He's got to do it right. I'm a poor artist. It's all fun.
That's why this show works so well. But that's enough of enough of us begging for this week. Next time
we'll beg more.
Let's see what else we got. Thank you for hanging out and talking to us. We appreciate you so much.
Glad you're here.
And Kat and Eric are great. Thank you, DJ Ray and Stephanie, Steven, Danny, if you're out there.
Yep.
Thank you all for hanging out. Each of you get an individual dang account next time. All right?
Yeah, seriously. Start your phones up.
I'm kidding. But I got nothing else.
Yep. No, I'm right on the edge of drunk, so nothing good's going to come out of me.
Now the fun starts. We're just going to go around the neighborhood and start fights.
That's right. It'll be good. I already started fights this week.
Right on.
So.
Did I mention we're both from East Tennessee?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Well, I'll figure out how these episodes go, and we will see you all next week. Same bat time, same bat station. Oh, and I'm going to be in Chattanooga this weekend, so if you know anybody in Chattanooga that wants to say hi, tell them to come to the Chattanooga Roller Girls bout, and I'll see you there. Next week, I'm in West Jefferson, North Carolina, and no one will ever see me there.
Go watch the eclipse.